Hello, friends. It's that time of year where the garden goes crazy. It's the end of the season, and you end up with billions of green tomatoes. So, on this all new episode of Sam Explains the World with your host, Samantha Bremekamp, we are going to deep dive, and by that I mean deep fry, some delicious green tomatoes for those famous southern fried green tomatoes. Delicious, easy, and you likely have an overabundance right now. So, let's head to the kitchen after I pick a few of these. Hmm. So many tomatoes now, thanks to the weather being bizarre, that heat wave, the cool weather that never ended in spring, and now millions and millions of green tomatoes. So we're going to fry them up because what else can you do when you have a plethora of green tomatoes this time of year? It's sad to see that the garden is going so well, but I know from experience that the season is officially over. So it's time to hack into it, clean it up for fall, and get ready to eat what you can. There's so many clusters of these Candyland tomatoes. Those are still turning red, like fully red, which I appreciate. They're going forever. But these bigger ones seem to be remaining green. So, fried green tomatoes, baby. You're going to love it. You have everything in your pantry already and fridge, and it couldn't be easier. And while we're outside, I just wanted you to get an update on the beautiful dahlias. Super prolific. They were really easy to grow. It was my first time ever growing them. And I had no idea. For whatever reason, I thought it was one flower per plant. But these are exploding and continuing to reproduce, which is amazing. And the bees are still getting in on it. So happy, so gorgeous. Highly recommend it. We live in a zone here in Berks County where the winters are not that terrible. So I think for my first year with the dahlias, I'm going to leave the corms or rhizomes in the ground and just see how it goes. If for some reason we get crazy weather in which it's like drops below zero a lot, then I'll probably run out and take them out, and it'll be pretty easy since I was the one who added the soil to this. It's not like it's super in the ground. It's like in a hill that I added. So I will come and rescue them, completely clean the dirt off, and store them in a cool, dry place like my basement. But I just wanted to share because they're just so beautiful. These sunset looking ones are great silence. And these purpley ones, purpley pink, are known as blue boys, which is funny. But there are different kinds, like these dark leaf variety with the really pretty delicate yellow flowers. There are just so many options with dahlias. And it's perfect to do them because if you love peonies, peony season ends so early and gets really depressing. So dahlias can take you through the summer into the fall. Highly recommend. Hello, my beautiful friends. It's that awkward time of year where we have pumpkins being harvested, but we're still getting green tomatoes. Some of them are ripening, but a lot of them are not really getting past this point and they're already cracking because we've had an abundance of rain. So we are going to make some delicious, super easy fried green tomatoes like our friends in the South, so that we can continue to enjoy the abundance of our crop despite the fact that it didn't really make it into ripening. This is what we're going to need. Everything here. No, not the pumpkins. I just think they look pretty and we grew them in the garden, so why not? We are going to be using some farm fresh eggs from a dear friend, um, green tomatoes, obviously, a pan to fry them in, oil to fry them in. I would use like a vegetable or canola oil for this. I would not use EVOO. You don't want it to smoke a lot because it gets annoying when you're trying to cook. Some flour, cornmeal, a little bit of breadcrumbs, a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder, and some salt and pepper to taste, and that's it. So away we go. It's pretty easy. Don't get overwhelmed and don't feel like you need to take notes. The thing we're going to start with is the egg batter. With the farm fresh eggs, because these are from our friends' chickens, our friends let us know that it's very important to rinse them off first because they have a protective layer. Um, so I washed them. That's why it's a little wet. And separate from that, I washed the tomatoes first, even though I've had a lot of rain and they were wet. Still rinse them off, safety first. And we're going to put these beautiful homegrown eggs. Just so cool. I gotta throw them in the sink behind me just so. Oh man. How cool to have your own chickens. If you do, awesome. If you don't, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Uh, because same. But it pays to have friends, and it's great to have a barter system. This is our friends who, anytime we had an overabundance of like starting to spoil cucumbers or whatever, we would send them to work with my partner, and he would share them for his friends' chickens to eat, which is great. So we'll continue to do that. We'll do a lot of fried green tomatoes. We'll make a chutney and stuff on a different episode, maybe, but eventually we'll probably just pass this on to our friends' chickens so we can keep getting really delicious eggs. Okay, so the 2 eggs have been put into here because after we slice up the tomatoes, we're gonna dip them in and then dip them into our breading concoction. But I have a feeling our friend Marmalade is about to join us. So hold on, let me show you how big she's got. Oh my god. If you guys wondered and wanted an update, oh my god. She's still a wiggly worm. She's super big and she's amazing. Say hi. She's about past my hip now. So, you have no idea how big she's going to get because she's a rescue and she's super floofy and we're super excited to see. But anyway, I digress. Now it's time to start cutting up the tomatoes. People have different thicknesses that they like. I would say whatever you want, um, make it even. This to me seems like the perfect, and they're just so pretty. But this thickness, about a third of an inch. What happens if you don't do a third of an inch? Nothing. If it's thinner, it'll take less time to cook. If it's thicker, it might take a little bit longer. That's it. So I'm going to start tossing them in here. Oh, you know what you should do before you start to do that? Salt both sides. Let it start pulling the natural delicious tomato juices out um, before you throw it into the eggs. I had just seen that on the beautiful internet machine by a celebrated chef. So yes, we will take your advice because you're awesome. And thank you. Okay, but while we wait for the salt to take into that for a second, we're going to build our breading base. Um, so you're going to need some flour. I'm going to do both breadcrumbs and cornmeal. It depends where you're from and how you do it or what you like. Some people just do flour, some people just do cornmeal. Dealer's choice, really. I'm going to do about a half a cup of flour. I'm going to do, I think, the same for the cornmeal. Yeah. And again for the breadcrumbs. These are the ones I grew up loving, the 4C breadcrumbs seasoned with a little pecorino romano cheese. But that's up to you. Do about all of that. Another half-ish. There we go. Okay. It even looks pretty. Really, that's all that matters. I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter at all what it looks like because it's going to taste delicious. but I don't know how long you can see that, all those different colors in there. But they're going to mix up really nicely. We're going to do a little bit of onion powder. A little bit of garlic powder. You could also do paprika, which is, by the way, just like crushed up bell pepper, for those who didn't know that. I don't mean to blow your mind, but you're welcome. If you don't want to do paprika, you don't have to. My mom sent us a really fun paprika type thing that I'm going to add just because I can. And I think it'll add really pretty color to it. Again, it's not about looks per se, but it certainly helps when you're making something like a green tomato that's not exactly mouth-watering and you're trying to turn it into something gourmet and delicious. So sit tight. From my darling mother, who's amazing, who Marmalade calls Gam Gam. I don't want to do too much. Okay, just little. Because remember, it's not spicy. If you like spicy stuff, do like red pepper flakes. Like go crazy. If you don't, that's okay also. Just want to mix that up so it's nice and even. So when we start dipping our friends, and while this is happening, I'm going to pour some oil into the pan and turn it on top of the stove so it gets hot enough. So once I do boom, 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 I'll take the two bowls, the station, like we've done with other things like potato chip and stuff. I'll bring you with me and you watch the process. Hold on. Another very important step to have prepared ahead of time while the oil is getting hot, before I move you guys over with me to the cooking station, I have a big pan to, sorry for the noise, line it with paper towel, and then I'm going to put a drying rack over it. As you're taking the fried tomatoes that are perfectly browned out, we're going to put it over here to catch all the drippings of the excess oil because we don't need it. We don't want it to be soggy. And that's like the best, easiest way. I've seen some people just put it directly like onto paper towel, but I feel like then you risk the inevitability of the delicious bread coating coming off with the paper towel. So this is a suggestion. Highly recommend it. Have it ready at your station. Also, Marmalade has learned to do a ding dong ditch with the bell. I don't know why. She's super cute. Hey, baby. I would try to pick her up, but I feel like she's going to be like a string beanie. So why don't you meet me over here and we'll get cooking. Thank you so much for joining me all the way over here on the stove where the oil is getting warm. I've brought the bowls with mixtures of the egg wash and the breadcrumbs, and I'm going to take the salted tomato slices and I'm going to just quickly, a little bit of paper towel, I'm going to take them and I'm going to just gently push it down to get that excess moisture so that it's able to receive the egg wash better. You don't want to waste all your time and energy with something that's not going to hold up. Like a waste of time, sadness, a lot of crying, and a lot of therapy. So, do this one thing and it'll make your life a little bit easier, which is, the name of the game and why you came. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. They're so pretty. Growing your own tomatoes is so cool. It looks like tomato roadmap. It's just awesome. Just so pretty. Do this way. It's a little bit heart-shaped. Oh, I heart you guys. Oh, okay. That's enough of that to start, just to show you how it's going to happen. And of course, as always, you know what I'm going to sing. The dong, 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 dong. I'm doing longer ones because I'm frying stuff into oil. And that's probably going to start to splash up once everything gets together. So let's try not to hurt ourselves in any capacity and watch the magic. Okay, thank you. I don't know why. I'm going to mix it one more time as if it had time to separate. Not on my watch, friends. Okay. And I've seen some people do a double dip, so we're going to do that too. Why not? Into the egg mixture. Now, some people say to do it lightly because you want to be able to see the tomato. They think it's better. Other people say to dip it twice. It's gonna get everywhere. That's okay. I'm gonna vacuum though, so don't worry. I'm gonna put it back in the egg mixture. Just gonna see. Let's get crazy. Let's get nuts. Worst case scenario, it tastes even better. And I'm not making too many of these. I'm just making enough for you guys right now. Easily place that into the hot oil. We're gonna take the friend, nice and coated, and we're also gonna do double dip. While marmalade patrols the area, hoping for something to fall. It's instinctual, hunting dog, if you will. Amazing. We'll do that single layer just to see the difference. So we know going forward what we want to do. And you know what? You can just change it up while doing it because who cares? Whatever you like, whatever makes you happy. I just love that somebody, and of course, someone down south, right, was like, you know what? We have an abundance of these tomatoes and I don't want to waste it. It took all summer to grow them. You know what? Why don't I just fry it up? Oh, we're going to do this double. Double it up. Oh, yeah. Mm. Just smells so good. There we go. While that starts to cook, I'm going to quick rinse off my gooey hand. So hold tight. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Right away. All right, hands washed. Marmalade's back outside on patrol. A lot of lawn service happening around us. Of course, we do our own stuff. So she's like, what is happening? Who are those people on those big machines? You want a nice golden brown for these beauties. You hear them, they're making beautiful music. Mm-mm-mm. Carefully, because you do not want to splash yourself, and you also do not want to knock all of the breading, because that would be really depressing. Oh, yeah. Okay. That one a little up, and I fixed it. Good. So just a little bit of time on either side. Because they're not ripe tomatoes, they're gonna have like a nice crunch. It's gonna be juicy and delicious, and the flavors of her batter are really gonna complement it. And it's gonna be pretty good. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I can watch that all day. All that all day. Give it a couple more seconds. How are you? How are you doing? Oh, sorry. I think these are ready. We'll get back to you. Don't worry. And again, being very careful. Show you how nice it is. And putting it on the drying rack. That's catching the oil dripping in the paper towel bowl. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Go, Wendy Tomato. Go a little time. Hopefully next summer we'll have a more even temperature the whole time. That's ideal for growing tomatoes. That doesn't have that like hibernation period because of a heat wave or because of a really long cold front in the spring, which really slowed things down to get things started. But that's okay. Fried green tomatoes it is then. Maybe next year we won't have them. We always have a few, so don't worry. All right, guys. Hold on. Perfection. Love it. back. Okay, we have one more. Turn that off for now. Because now we're going to work on a little something to go along with these. Because you could eat them just straight up or make a fun little sauce to go along with it. Or just add whatever you like. If you have stuff already that you think that would be delicious with, cool. But we're going to experiment. Make a little something something for something something. Fried green tomatoes. Oh, yeah. Perfect. It's falling off. Whoa, that's hot. Okay. Don't do what I just did because that was stupid. Now to the sauce. A dipping sauce, if you will. Now it's time to make the secret sauce. That's not a secret, it's just whatever you feel like making to go with the fried green tomatoes. I just chose what I already have in the fridge to put together to make something a little extra special. I'm going to take a little bit of mayo, maybe a little more. I'm going to be making more. Some honey Dijon. Pardon me if it makes a sound. Whew, excuse me. Should see a doctor. Okay. Delish. My partner had this in the fridge and like I didn't know, and now I'm super jealous. It's deli dressing by Boar's Head. So we're gonna use some of that because all of the things that are in this, like the spices, some oil, some vinegar, I was going to add separately, but because they already have it, it's made with extra virgin olive oil, and in here we have canola oil, EVOO, red wine, vinegar, spice. Okay, Boar's Head. Some salt, sugar, and natural flavor. I don't know what that means, but it tastes really good. Oh, my hands like have oil now. Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay. I like relish. If you don't, you don't have to. But it's almost like what I would make for fried seafood in a way, with the just a little extra because of the fried green tomatoes. I'm gonna take some lemon, just a little bit. I'm gonna make sure there's no seeds, so I'm gonna take them out. By the way, I don't know if you remember, but I'd taken a bunch of lemon seeds and put them into dirt to see if they're growing, and I have a bunch of little lemon trees started, which is fun, growing out of little recyclable containers, like yogurt and stuff. It's just awesome, though, to see. Of course, because of our climate where we live here in Berks, the lemon trees will be coming in. A lot of the plants are coming in, much to my partner's chagrin. But it's really good to have plants inside, producing oxygen, reminding you of like beautiful weather and better times when we have a nice winter happening. Okay. That's what that looks like. It might not look nice, but it's gonna taste delicious. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, smells so good. I'm probably going to, as always, add a little salt and a little pepper. Maybe a lot of pepper. Pepper's good for you. And then it's a little something something. Okay. Super easy. Super done. Super delish. All right, now let's see how it plays out. Here are the beauties from a moment ago. We're going to, you can put it right on if you want. I'm going to do like a dipping sauce situation just for looks for you guys. And now I'm going to grab one of these and we're going to go in. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. That's even better than I expected. I mean, I expected it to be pretty good, but mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. And that's it, my friends. That's how you can salvage your crops of green tomatoes that are just awkwardly hanging around with nowhere to go, but up, because you have this super easy turnkey fried green tomato situation with that super delicious dipping sauce. So thank you so much for joining me on this all new episode of Sam's Wins World. Your host, Samantha Bremekamp. I look forward to seeing you guys next Friday right here on BCTV.